Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're taking a look at from the Studio Series 86 line. This is Core Class Steeljaw. This is one of Blaster's cassettes, obviously meant to go with the uh, current previously released Studio Series 86 Blaster, but of course this can work with Twin Cast and the original Kingdom release. I mean, they're just repaints of each other. So just to start off, let me just say I'm a little underwhelmed by the figure. And no, it's not because it's smaller than a normal core class and it's just padded out with accessories. It's because we have seen from the Masterpiece line, but also in Siege and Earthrise, that when it comes to the animal-based cassette minions, Hasbro found a way to do them all inclusive, meaning the weapons, the accessories were built into the cassette. The bipedal humanoid ones, understandable they couldn't do that since their weapons store on the back. But with Steeljaw, it seems like they took a step back. And what I mean by that is you have this section here that comes packaged separate. This is the wing section and tail of the um, lion mode. And I mean, it actually comes like this. These wings are removable, so there's that. But there's also like a little nubbin on the side there that it can sort of peg into. But, you know, I mean, if you lose this, you really lose a large part of the lion mode. And then on top of that, we also have this. Now, this is actually meant to be an accessory for Blaster. And of course, I'll show you how to attach it to Blaster. Comes in two pieces like this. This is stored in the box next to the cassette, whereas this and these bits here are stored underneath in a wrapped tissue paper. Now, obviously, again, this is meant to plug into the back. You actually can't have both on at the same time. I don't know how many people would do that, but again, it's just I really just wanted with these cassettes just to be able and core class in general, just pick them up, fiddle around with them, be able to transform them. Now, we'll just go ahead right now into the transformation. So to start things off, what you want to do is turn it on what I would be say that it's the cassette face upside, maybe, because it's like that's where you have the coloring and the dials there. But as you can see right here is the inside of the lion head. So I'm never sure which side is supposed to face out on these minions. So pull out the two sides of the lion head, and flip up this panel and have it pegged together, uh, just like that, to form Steeljaw's uh, head. Next, what you want to do is fold that back on that panel there. We're still staying underneath here because the next step we're going to do is flip up this golden gun section, which will also rotate out the back legs and then allow you to rotate up the front legs. Turn it over. And now what we're going to do is rotate those guns back into position. Kind of stiff on mine, but they kind of do lock into place. And I think there's also like a little bit of a pagan type of thing. But really, once you have that done, this is how they will say Steeljaw is complete. So you have that square head. These are actually, I think, supposed to be part of the wings. And then there's the back. So, of course, the first thing, let's grab this accessory. This will peg in right here. And that gives you those disc laser types that are almost identical to what's here on the tail section. But really, how I would display it is put it down like that, and then rotate these up so the lasers are pointing forward. And there you have Steeljaw in its robot mode. But again, tail, backs, the fuller back section, the wings, you lose that part, you're really going to end up with an incomplete figure. Also, spoilers, I plan on displaying this with Blaster. So I plan on having Steeljaw like this, which means I'm going to have this little section here rattling around in the packaging. just as an aside. Now, to go back to cassette mode, uh, move this back section, bring the side guns down like so. You can try to rotate them so independent of the legs. I just find it to be a little bit easier to do it all together. Flip up the front legs, bring down this back legs with the guns, flip the head up, open that panel right there, and close it up like that. So we're back in cassette mode, just like that. So what we'll do right now is pause, and I'll bring in Blaster to show how the Steeljaw and the accessories integrate with him. Okay, so the first thing is you want to go ahead and open Blaster's cassette door. If you have rewind or resist eject in there, just pop it out. That's rewind. Now, I will say that due to these side blasters, it's a little fiddly to get Steeljaw in there. I also think it has to do with the amount of paint on the door of Blaster's cassette opening, because that's all solid plastic now. Remember, this is the Studio Series version. But if you do get it in, you can get it in, you can close it, but when you go to open it, you're going to have to uh, help it open. Which, to be fair, same thing happens on Soundwave. Same thing happens with eject, rewind, etc. So flipping this over, I think if it's facing this way, it's like a little bit easier. But the bigger thing, I'm gonna put him back in. The bigger takeaway here is uh, the speaker accessory, which is something I believe Blaster used in the cartoon. Now, obviously, it's meant to slide over the fist, and you're going to use the left hand instead of the right due to the fact that the right has that protruding finger to activate the ejecting feature. So now normally you would just slide it on like that, and that's fine. It'll sit, it'll hold. But if you take a look on the inside, you see how the inside here is cut out, and there's a groove right there in the middle. Well, if you look at the back of Blaster's hand, there's a little tab there. And to be honest, I don't think that tab was ever used for anything. Maybe it's a bit of a leverage point to like flip the hand, but the hand's supposed to go like this way or something. Geez, I don't even remember how to transform Blaster. Uh, but if you actually turn this sideways so that the opening for this piece is facing towards you, you can slide that tab over, and I think it makes for a better, more secure connection, which I think is kind of nice. And like I said, this is how I would have Blaster displayed on my Studio Series 86 shelf. That door open, and I think that's kind of cool. So, like I said, this would work with Kingdom Blaster, Twincast, whomever. Uh, so you don't need to have the Studio Series 86 version because I know a lot of people passed on it because the differences in the deco wasn't enough. But I kind of dug it, so I I double dipped. So what we'll do now is we'll pause and we'll come back with my final thoughts. So in a nutshell, that's Steeljaw. Real quick, something I almost forgot to mention. It's right here on the rear of the figure. Right there, there's that pin. There is actually a little bit of a waggle, but it actually kind of gets locked in when you have this back section on, and it doesn't really rotate or do anything. So I'm a little like, why is that there? But I just figured I wanted to point it out. So, if you're okay with buying Steeljaw, understanding that it's going to be a parts forming beast cassette, okay, and really if you're just buying it for an accessory for Blaster, even better. But it's releases like this why I can kind of see that there's issues with the core class line and that it might actually be going away, as we've discussed previously. Which is a shame because I've really been impressed over the years by what Hasbro can do at this smaller scale. Now, as I said, this is basically how I'm going to be displaying Steeljaw on my shelf. And by the way, we have a new generation's Steeljaw before we got the masterpiece Steeljaw. We have a masterpiece retool of Steeljaw as Nightwolf or Nighthowl, which was basically the Steeljaw mold in black with Ravage's rear legs to get the boosters there, like Night Striker or something. But yeah, remember that was like almost over 10 years ago that came out, and we still haven't gotten a masterpiece blaster. So I'd love to know what's going on there. But who knows? Maybe we'll get like a Night Prowler. I think it's Night Prowler. Yeah, Night Prowler or something out of this. That'd be kind of cool. Um, Now, of course, this is kind of interesting because I'll be displaying Blaster on my Studio Series 86 shelf, but I don't have a Soundwave yet. And I know many of you are saying, well, the Legacy release. To me, that does not fit the bill as a Studio Series 86 Soundwave. It's got a retool from Siege, has all those extra greebling parts. I have heard the rumors, I'm sure you have too, that we'll be getting a proper Studio Series 86 Soundwave to scale with Blaster. And I think the bigger tell will be, besides Rumble and Frenzy, if down the line we get a proper Studio Series core class Laserbeak and Ravage with pronounced blasters, a more animation style look, then I think it could be safe to say that there is a Soundwave coming. But it's funny we're in a video about Steeljaw and I'm talking about Soundwave because it's just meh. The figure's just meh to me. I'm kind of glad I got it. Always happy to be able to present it to you. But if you feel like you can wait for a sale, I think that could work out pretty good because then if you take a little bit off the price, it kind of, I think, makes things work out a little bit better. That's it for this review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. While I always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions, help to communicate to YouTube through the algorithm that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. I also have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like Steeljaw to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, if you can't afford the $1 a month, $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous Sunday. I do mean that. So that's about it. Once again, this is your old pal Chuck for Studio Series 86 Steeljaw. We will see you next time.